Good morning.
Good morning. Jim, today I'd like to talk about spiritual abilities. Spiritual abilities are the skills and the abilities that come with the body. We're born with them. And there's over 20 of them. They're located in various spots in the body, chakras, for example. But many of us have turned them off or have not developed them. And a few that many people know about are, that I'd like to talk about, are clairvoyance, the two kinds of telepathy, maybe clairsentience, clairaudience, knowingness, those five.
Sure.
In some way.
Okay. So one of the things that happens is you come into the body with that real soft spot on your head, fully connected as spirit, stepping into a new experience. That soft spot closes down as you begin to acclimate to the physicalness of this particular experience. But many of us grow up, if you look at a little 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, their eyes are bright, they're really happy, they're engaged with enjoying life, and their spiritual abilities, things like clairvoyance, are turned on. And then the mom, dad, teacher, minister of life begin to say, I know better. I'm going to teach you and you're going to grow up in my image. Whether that's intended or not, that's kind of what happens. But along the way, those spiritual abilities get shut down, or we stop using them, and we begin to perceive the world through different eyes. So where people are right now, this is actually going into this year really kind of a good topic to talk about, because there is another aspect that's called the Eye of Horus. And the Eye of Horus, most people, if they have any knowledge of it, they think of it as a mystery school in Egypt or a nice necklace that you'll wear around your neck. But the Eye of Horus is aspects of the brain that are very engaged with one another when turned on. And right now with this shift, this turning on of these this Eye of Horus, these aspects of the brain, and your spiritual abilities are all coming back online. One of the main purposes of the Eye of Horus is to allow you to know yourself and know your environment. Just like the five senses, you don't think about it's cold, put a coat on, you just put a coat on because the sensory system is telling you that. So things like clairvoyance is really a very big deal. You've been clairvoyant all your life. It's on all the time. We just either discount it or don't have a definition of what goes on with clairvoyance. So you're very clairvoyant. How do you experience that process?
Well, what I'm really good at making tricks for myself to kind of fool my rational mind, fool my 3D self into higher levels of awareness. So one of the tricks that I have for developing and being aware of my clairvoyance, there's a couple of them. One is creating a reading screen that's about a foot in front of my face, and in my meditation space, putting a person, as an example, up on this reading screen and just asking a series of questions. Are they healthy? Are they happy? How do they move around? Are they confident? And just reading their energy, not in a judgment space, but just as an observation space, and seeing what I see. And another trick is to put a rose up on this reading screen and pretend. Open it, close it, turn it upside down. And one of the things I notice with some of the students is that they expect to see clairvoyantly the same way that they see with their eyes, their physical eyes, open. And it doesn't work like that.
Right. And so those are really valuable tools, or valuable little tricks, if you would. See, first, the thing about clairvoyance is most people that we engage simply believe, I don't see anything. Well, yes, you do, all the time. But what you see is what you call memories. So I say, can you tell me about the lake and the snow-covered mountains? With that statement, you see the picture. Now you'll call it a memory, but the memory is the memory, but the visual awareness of the lake and the clouds and the snow is clairvoyance, clear seeing. So what you just described is a good trick for practicing when it doesn't count, and give yourself a little bit permission to just simply look at somebody and ask the question, are they healthy or not?
Yeah.
That pretend screen is really very much there. It's kind of called a reading screen. It allows for the picture, the image, to appear.
Well, and there's a couple key words is to pretend
Yeah,
and to make it up.
yeah.
But some people have this block, oh, I'm just making it up. I'm just pretending.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Where does that come from?
Yeah.
It comes from your clairvoyance.
Yeah, see, now this is a big piece of this, is because the rational mind needs to keep you safe and have you fit in. And so when you start doing things that aren't conventional to the rational mind says, no, that doesn't work. That's not part of it. This isn't how it works.
Yeah.
So if you can allow yourself to pretend, imagine, make believe, allow those concepts, when you do that, usually those words have a lot of playfulness to them. And in the playfulness, the rigid structures aren't so much in place. But if you play with them, like Roxanne just suggested, and make it a game, and do it, not just go, oh, that'll be fun, and then 2 minutes from now you don't remember what was said. Really go out and try that little exercise.
Well, and with all this work, with any kind of spiritual journey, approaching it as a little child, approaching it as if you're in kindergarten. If we remember what life was like in kindergarten or even earlier, we were very curious and amazed and amused and light-hearted about it. But we grow up and we get serious and force ourselves into places.
Boxes.
Yeah, and so
Yep.
so be in kindergarten.
Yeah, and so this clairvoyance piece and this relationship with Eye of Horus and many of these other skills that are coming online, they're really valuable right now, because you are seeing a world that is in significant transition, and a lot of the transition that you're watching is like a double-edged sword. It's like the internet is really extremely valuable, and it's clearly very dangerous in terms of what side of that issue are you playing on. So as you begin to navigate, being able to kind of see what's coming up an hour from now, 2 hours from now, that's not predicting the future. That's just basically having an awareness that, if they do that, this is going to happen. That's clear seeing to a great extent, and beginning to use your knowingness.
Let's stop here. We can talk a lot about the different spiritual abilities. Next week, let's talk about telepathy or knowingness,
Clairaudience.
or clairaudience, clairsentience.
Sure. So there are a whole bunch of these abilities, and they really do work together. But this Eye of Horus is going to simply begin to put the wiring together. Now that takes a little bit of understanding in itself, but clairaudience and telepathies would be a really good topic to talk about. So we'll come back next week and talk about what we can talk about.
Cool.